I had the hydraulic lift engaged on a repossession when I felt cold steel jam into my ribs. I didn't know I was about to commit a felony with a toy. I worked the graveyard shift for a private towing company. It's quiet, dirty work. I was strapping the wheels of a defaulted sedan in a darkened alley around 3:30 a.m. Rain was coming down hard, blurring the streetlights. That's when a cargo van screeched up to the bumper, blocking my exit. The side door flew open, and a body rolled out onto the wet asphalt. He was twitching, clutching his stomach like he'd been stabbed. I dropped my chains and ran over to help. I knelt down, reaching for my phone to call 911, when the dying man snapped upright. He shoved a pistol into my face and grinned. "Get in the truck, Mikey." My stomach dropped. I knew that voice. It was Jax, my ex-business partner who drank his half of our company away 5 years ago. He dragged me into my own tow truck cab, and two guys I'd never seen before jumped into the passenger side, squeezing me in the middle. "Drive," Jax barked. "Drive where?" I stammered, hands gripping the wheel so hard my knuckles turned white. "The state evidence lot on 4th, Jax said. "We're making a withdrawal." "Jax, that's a police contract lot," I said, my voice shaking. "I can't just waltz in there." "You have the transponder," he smiled, revealing a row of rotting teeth. "You're going to open the gate, hook up the blue impounded Rover in Bay 6, and tow it out." "Why?" "Because the trunk is full of cartel cash," he whispered. 80 grand for you if you get us out. That's double what you make in a year hauling junk." I looked at the two goons. They smelled like stale beer and desperation. "I'm not doing it," I said. "I'm not going to prison for you." Jax jammed the barrel harder into my side. "I will put a bullet in your liver right now. Drive." I put the truck in gear. I didn't have a choice. The impound lot was 10 minutes away. I tried to think. The guard at the gate, old man Miller, knew me. He trusted me. "When we get there," Jax said, "you wave. You tell him it's an emergency transfer order. If you blink wrong, my boys here will pay Miller a visit." We pulled up to the heavy steel gates. The rain was pounding against the windshield. Miller stepped out of his booth, squinting at the headlights. "Roll down the window," Jax hissed. "Make it convincing." I rolled it down. Miller walked up, flashlight beaming in my eyes. "Late night, Mike?" Miller asked. "Yeah," I said, trying to keep my voice steady. "Listen, Miller, I got a transfer order for the Rover." "But," I leaned out, blocking Jax from Miller's view. "The guys in the cab have guns. They want the evidence car. Lock the gate and hit the silent alarm." Miller's eyes went wide. He was a Vietnam vet. He didn't panic. "Wrong paperwork, son," Miller said loudly. "Let me check the system." He turned and walked calmly back to the bulletproof booth. The heavy maglocks on the gate clicked shut. That's when the real bombshell dropped. Jax panicked. "What did you say to him?" "I told him it was a transfer." I yelled. "He has to log it." Miller didn't come back out. Sirens wailed in the distance. "He triggered it," one of the goons screamed. "We gotta go." Jax exploded. "You traitor." He swung the gun at my head. I flinched, throwing my arm up. The barrel hit my wrist. Crack. Not the sound of bone breaking. The sound of cheap plastic snapping. The slide of the pistol broke off and clattered onto the dashboard. I stared at it. It was a water gun painted with matte primer. "Are you kidding me?" I roared. Heat climbed my neck and my vision blurred with rage. He threatened my life with a toy. I grabbed Jax by his collar and slammed his head into the dashboard. The two goons tried to scramble out of the truck, but Miller had already released the guard dogs. They didn't get far. By the time the cops swarmed the lot, I had Jax in a headlock on the asphalt. The two goons were cornered by a German shepherd near the fence. The police sergeant opened the trunk of the Rover. Empty. No cash. Just a spare tire. As they cuffed Jax, I walked over to him, wiping blood from my lip. "There was no money, was there?" I asked. Jax looked up, smiling through a split lip. "Nope." "Then why?" "Rent is expensive, Mike," he laughed, leaning back against the squad car. "But in there, 3 meals, a warm bed, and they have to treat my liver failure on the state's dime. I just needed a ride to booking." He winked as the officer shoved him into the back seat. "My ex-partner hijacked me with a squirt gun to get health insurance.